Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. This is going to be a current video with links in the description. Remember, all the or most of the other videos that I've uploaded are older videos that I had to re-upload after YouTube took down my channel. So I uploaded the majority of my older videos, and now occasionally I will do current videos, but this is a current one. And again, I ask if you enjoy these, please hit the like button. Definitely subscribe and share the video. But anyways, let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. First is some strange objects seen in the sky that I found on Twitter. Let's see. I also have this video here. Two huge UFOs captured flying very close to a building in Montreal. You can see this object here. Let's see, these are a compilation of, of a few photos, supposedly showing, the best images of UFOs, but, I've seen better, but these are just a few of them that were on this video I found. Also have this, this is actually an older video. It's actually two separate videos showing a UFO that's ejecting smaller drones or something out of it, and it like ejects like a bunch of them. I don't know if I can say hundreds, but yeah, it's definitely ejecting a lot of these little tiny drones. And it was actually filmed by two different people, Pedro Hernandez and Alfredo Carrillo. So this video here has both of those videos. And this is a 2-hour, 20-minute presentation. Its scientific results are presented to the Congress of Peru of those Nazca mummies that were found covered in diatomaceous earth. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a better photo. Yeah, here's one of them here. But this being had 3 fingers, strange shaped head, and then there were a couple smaller ones too. But they went through complete analysis of these things, and these are definitely, they're not human, they're not fake. These are actually real bodies of real beings. Let's see if I can find the other little bodies. But yeah, again, this is it's a scientific analysis of these beings to show that they are real. Here's a skull of one of them, and you would describe them as little gray aliens. Actually, yeah, there's 2 different sizes. Yeah, here's a body of one of them. You can see this one had some kind of contraption or something holding its chest together. You can see all the bones, the ribs. Yeah, these are real little beings. I'm going to assume that, well, whatever these beings are, that they're still around. These aren't the, like the only ones. I bet you there's a bunch of them running around. We just don't see them all the time. Maybe we don't have the capacity to see them, but yeah, we aren't alone on the planet. That's for sure. Also have this video here showing, it says probably meteorites taken from a Nest cam found on Reddit. Show some objects flying through the sky. Kind of hard to see, but again, links to these will be in the description. And this one here is from Twitter, but this guy caught something. This guy was skydiving or something, or paragliding, and he caught this object here fly past him. And in the description, people are saying, oh, it's a balloon, or debunked, it's a balloon. Yeah, that is not a balloon. Yeah, and here's a better photo of it. This is, yeah, not a balloon. Anyways, let's go to this one here. This is almost an hour and a half documentary about the Rendlesham forest sighting in England, where Colonel Holt, actually made an audio recording as they were experiencing a small triangle-shaped craft floating amongst the trees. And I think this was also a nuclear site in the UK. And let's see, I also found this on Reddit. It's according to Ed Harris. I don't know who Ed Harris is, This is why President Carter cried after his UFO briefing thoughts. So I'll read this. Apparently, Jimmy Carter, who has come out multiple times and said that he has seen aliens and that, as president, he wanted to release any information about UFOs because, yeah, he's seen them. He didn't have to believe in them. He knows that they're real because he saw one. Let's see, I got this video here about the world's largest pyramid. I think this was in Mexico. Had a bigger footprint than the Pyramid of Giza. And then last is this video, nothing to do with UFOs, but a strange anomaly in Earth's magnetic field. It says NASA is tracking a huge growing anomaly in Earth's magnetic field. I thought that was kind of interesting. I wonder if this has something to do with the magnetic poles getting ready to flip. But anyways, let's go to this first video here. Now, this is only 17 seconds long. So since it's Twitter, I can play the whole thing. Turn that music down. You know what I find interesting about something like this is that you see this thing, this strange thing up in the sky. And here's a guy just running by, is completely oblivious, to whatever this thing is. I mean, this thing might not be anything extraordinary, but only a few people decided to take videos, and I think that happens a lot of times. Sometimes, I guess people are incredulous, and they don't want to believe that that there's these crafts in the sky, so they just try to ignore it. Other people are just, yeah, they could care less. They couldn't care less. And then you have others who realize that something extraordinary is going on, and they have the presence of mind to get their cameras out and record. But anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Now here, this is short video, 2 minutes. Two huge UFOs captured flying very close to a building in Montreal. Now, yeah, I think this woman caught two. So yeah, you know what? And she's taking this from inside of her apartment. So there seems to be a reflection on the glass. But anyways, let me just back up this up a little. Yeah, so here's one. Then she's trying to figure out what it was, and then another one appears. Let me jump to that one. Yeah, so here's another one when it appears. Yeah, I did. That did sound sort of like you could hear the propel or the engine. There was definitely some noise there on that one. Go back to that again. Yeah, she is. Anyway, here goes. Yeah, but you know what? I mean, you can hear something, but it doesn't sound like a normal jet engine or propellers or anything like that. Very strange. Anyways, link will be in the description. Let's see. This is just a video, a photograph. Supposedly, some of the best UFO photos. So let me just show you what we got. We got this one here. Then we got this one here. This one. And then the last is this one here. Oh, no, no. Oh, yeah, this one here was a jet and a UFO. Here's another one. Black and white, kind of hard to see. Anyways, that's that. Let's see. And then this one here is UFO Mothership Ejecting Fleet of Spheres by Pedro Hernandez. and Alfredo Carrillo. Yes, now these are two separate. Yeah, how is this one little object ejecting so many other objects? I wonder if this thing is having some type of malfunction. But anyways, let me just jump to the other one. Here is now. This is Alfredo Carrillo. Very strange. Anyways, that's that video. Again, link will be in the description. Let's go to this one here. Yeah, now this is a yeah, 2 hour, 20-minute video. And I think it's in Spanish too. So unless you're speaking Spanish, I'm not gonna be able to understand 221, 28. Let me just play a little bit of this and see what we got. Yeah, that two of the specimens could match with two distinct species. The purpose of my analysis was precisely not to rely on DNA, but on diagnostic characteristics, which is a biological study. Yeah, the purpose of this analysis was precisely to identify two possible species. The first would be the Josephina holotype. So anyway, so there's that. Yeah, this is a long presentation. It's all in Spanish, but it's closed caption, so you will be able to read it. Yeah, but again, this isn't anything that's fake. These are actual beings, that have gone through scientific study. So again, these are obviously real because I don't think if someone made a hoax, say here's the skull. If someone hoaxed these things, that it would have been able to go through all this rigorous analysis. Yeah, here are the two other beings. They're small, like 2.5, 3 feet tall. This one here didn't have a head. And this one here had some type of metal contraption across its chest. I don't know if it had gone through some type of injury. But anyways, yeah, 2 hour video. I haven't gotten a chance to watch the whole thing, but link will be in the description. Definitely check it out. Now, this one here was from Reddit. So let's see. It's only a minute long. I can go ahead and play the whole thing. Yeah, you're going to see up here. This is from Nestcam. Some objects, and these things are not meteors. At least I don't. Wow, I wonder if that noise was from those objects moving across. This guy like that. And like I said in my previous video, there isn't a single day that goes by where somebody somewhere on the planet does not see a UFO, right? UFOs are seen every single day somewhere on planet Earth, and that's because these objects originate from planet Earth. They're either leaving Earth and going out into space, or they're coming from space and returning to whatever locations that they reside here on planet Earth. But we are not alone on this planet. We've never been alone on this planet, and I think that's the big secret that even some of the people that claim to be a part of UFO disclosure, they don't want you to know that. They just want you to just look at the object. Some of them don't even want you to consider that that these crafts are being operated by anything. They just want you to look at the machine. Oh, look at the machine that comes from some faraway planet. Anyways, this is another short video from Reddit. So I think this guy has some narration. So let me go ahead and play this thing. Oh, real quick, what were these things down at, like down here, running across this field here? That doesn't that they moving kind of weird? Whoa, what is that down here? Are these things on some kind of track? But there's two of them. It looks like they're on some type of track, I think. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. You know what? These are two planes. Oh, I see what that is. These are two low-flying planes down here. Yeah, look at that thing. That thing was not a balloon. So there's that, and then here's a actual close-up image of it. Now, I'm not too. I think they got this from a screen grab, but that's the actual object that goes across, and it's definitely not a balloon. Anyways, link to these will be in the description. Now, this one here, yeah, hour and a half um, documentary about the Rendlesham Force incident, and I believe. Yeah, I think it was a military facility, which is most likely why our underwater neighbors were checking it out. But let me just play a little bit of this. This is part of Colonel Holt's actual auto recording that that he made as this craft was checking them out. Anyways, check this out. Now, if I remember correctly, I think it was Colonel Holt who actually touched the object, and then I don't know if it was at that moment or later on, he was flooded with some binary numbers that he was able to write down, and I think it actually revealed some type of message. Anyways, you know what? I'm pretty sure if I try and play any more of this, they'll give me a copyright violation. So, yeah, it's as much as I want to play, but very interesting hour and a half. If you have time, link will be in the description. Definitely check that out. Now, here is this little writing that I found on Reddit about President or former President Jimmy Carter being briefed on UFOs, and supposedly the story is that when he came out of that meeting, he was crying. Now, yeah, he's a Christian, a God fearing man. So whatever he was told definitely turned his world upside down. But anyways, let me just give this a quick read. Yes, the incident of Jimmy Carter crying after being briefed about classified information regarding UFOs is largely believed to be true by the serious researchers on the subject. As a forewarning, the following information is very unsettling and will explain why Carter never kept his promise of revealing classified UFO information to the public. Yeah, so apparently he made a promise that he was going to, but then after this briefing, he decided not to. According to the story that was corroborated by more than one witness, US presidents are only giving a cursory overview of the subject. Apparently, the CIA runs the program, only provide information to the president on a need to know basis, and do not consider presidential curiosity as sufficient need to know. This was implemented after Kennedy, and all presidents after him have been given only summary briefings. Some presidents, for unknown reasons, were given more than others. Yeah, I think they only really gave certain presidents total briefing that they knew would be able to keep a secret. Others, like Carter, they probably knew that he wasn't going to be able to keep it a secret. But anyways, okay, on to your question. President Carter is a deeply religious man who had also witnessed a UFO with six other people. Everyone thought that he would be the one to finally release UFO info to the public, but as the story goes, he was repeatedly stonewalled. Eventually, the CIA had the talk with him, and afterward, it was reported that he sunk his head in his hands and not only began to deeply sob, but was visibly disturbed by some for some weeks afterward. What was he told and shown? He was told that the major religions, including Christianity, were programs created by extraterrestrials to prevent us from destroying ourselves while they ran their experiments on us, and that they made us. At this moment, it became clear to Carter that such information could cause tremendous economic and social upheaval. I should add that I am not only a Christian, but a clergyman, so I am in no way attempting to promote atheism here. In fact, how God fits into this might be an interesting separate post. Nevertheless, these are the facts as I know them to be. Again, when they say that they are extraterrestrials, I think that they're trying to brainwash us or mislead us. Now, no doubt, based on the number of stars, that are out there, I'm sure we don't even have a word for the number of stars that are out there. Yeah, it would be impossible for there not to have been life, or the idea that that if there is life out there, that they're either behind us or only a few years ahead of us as far as their technology and their technology and their intellect. A lot of time has gone on. Yeah, and our presence here on this planet is just a mere fraction of the amount of time that had to have passed. So I don't understand why people can't accept the idea that other life forms in the distant past, had also developed and advanced, similar to the way we are. Yeah, I don't think there's anything special about the atmosphere around our planet that would only make this planet the only planet that can create and sustain life. I'm sure, yeah, that there are multiple planets, multiple species, all developed based on the environmental conditions, right? I mean, yeah, we are what, silicone based, we breathe oxygen. I mean, there's no telling, there's no reason why on another planet with a different atmospheric mixture, that some other type of life form that can survive on that planet would have developed. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. Now let's see. Now this is about the world's largest pyramid, kind of short 3-minute video. Check this out. Oh yeah, let me just stop this here real quick. Let me just show you this. Look at this photo, right? Of all of these different pyramids all over the planet, right? Some of them are Egyptian, South America, Mexico. We know that they're in China. There are some in, I think it was Romania, that they've also found pyramids. Yeah, but there were pyramids even in Africa. There are pyramids. So obviously, there must have been some society, some common society that was going around, building these structures. Anyways, let's go to this one again. Let me stop this here real quick. Okay, you know what? If this church wasn't on top of there in this flat top, I think that would make a perfect landing site for a giant spacecraft. Which is what I think those the pyramids in Mexico. Where is it? Chichen Itza, I think it's called. But there's like that pyramid complex with the I think there's like four pyramids and they have the flat tops. To me, that's a perfect landing spot for spaceships. Anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Now, last video here is of some kind of strange anomaly in Earth's magnetic field that yeah that affects even the space station when it goes over it. Anyways, check this out. NASA is tracking UFO anomaly in Earth's magnetic field. So here it is here. NASA is actively monitoring a strange anomaly in Earth's magnetic field, a giant region of lower magnetic intensity in the skies above the planet, stretching out between South America and Southwest Africa. This vast local phenomenon called the South Atlantic anomaly has intrigued and concerned scientists for years, and perhaps none more so than NASA researchers. The South Atlantic anomaly, likened by NASA to a dent in Earth's magnetic field or a kind of pothole in space, generally doesn't affect life on Earth. The same can be said for multiple spacecraft, including the International Space Station, which passed directly through the anomaly as it moved around the planet. During these encounters, the reduced magnetic field strength inside the anomaly its technological systems onboard satellites in short circuit and malfunction if they become struck by high energy photons emanating from the sun. These random hits can usually only produce low-level glitches, but they do carry the risk of causing significant data loss or even permanent damage to key components. Threats oblige satellite operators to routinely shut down spacecraft systems before spacecraft enter the anomaly zone. Mitigating those hazards in space is one reason NASA is tracking the SAA. Another is that the mystery of the anomaly represents a great opportunity to investigate a complex and difficult to understand phenomenon, and NASA's broad resource and research groups are uniquely well equipped to study the occurrence. The magnetic field is actually a superposition of fields from many current sources. Geophysicist Terry Samaka from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenville, Maryland, explained in 2020. The primary source is considered to be a swirling ocean of molten iron inside Earth's outer core, thousands of kilometers reservoir of dense rocks called the African Large Low Shear Velocity Rocks, located about 200, 2,900 kilometers, 1,800 miles below the African continent, disturbs the field's generation, resulting in dramatic weakening effect, which is aided by the tilt of the planet's magnetic axis. And you see, I wonder if this has something to do with Earth's magnetic fields possibly getting ready to flip. Because from my understanding, um, based on, I think it's like analysis of like rocks that have contained iron as they are coming out of the I think it's the divergent zone in the middle of the ocean. You know how there's a subduction zones where Earth's oceanic crust is traveling beneath the continental plate, like San Andreas Fault, right? That's the oceanic plate diving underneath the continental crust. In the Atlantic Ocean, it's the exact opposite, which again is why if you look on the West Coast, like California, Oregon, we have a lot of cliff faces along the West Coast, and then along the eastern coastline, there are no cliffs, right? The ocean just generally um, just slopes down into the ocean with with a lot of rocky terrain, but there aren't any cliffs on the east side of the United States, while there are cliffs on the west side, and that has something to do with the subduction zone on the west and the divergent zones in the Atlantic. But in the middle of the Atlantic, where Earth's crust is spreading out, right, as that rock moves up out of out of the Earth's core, the magnetic or iron spherules or something like that, some kind of iron pieces of iron, depending on the Earth's magnetic field at that time, will somehow affect the iron, in the rock that's coming out of that divergent area. So yeah, so when Earth's cores flip, right, those little iron spherules or something. I'm not too sure about the name of that, but it has something to do with iron. It's they tilt in a certain direction, and then they can look on both sides of the divergent zones and match up. Um, where the rocks match up, and they can determine time. But according to that record, the Earth's magnetic field used to flip every 200 to 300,000 years, except recently. Again, yeah, the last time the Earth's magnetic poles flipped was like over 700,000 years ago. So we're way overdue for a magnetic flip. So yeah, I wonder if this has something to do with it. But anyways, let me keep reading this. The observed SAA can also be interpreted as a consequence of weakening dominance of the dipole field in the region, said NASA Goddard geophysicist and mathematician Wenjia Kwang in 2012. More specifically, a localized field with reverse polarity grows strongly in the SAA region, thus making the field intensity very weak, weaker than that of the surrounding regions. Satellite data is suggesting the SAA is dividing division of geomagnetism DTU space. While there's much scientists still don't, while there's much scientists still don't fully understand about the anomaly and its implication, new insights are continually shedding light on this strange phenomenon. For example, one study led by NASA physicist Ashley Greenlee in 2016 revealed the SAA is drifting slowly in a northwesterly direction. It's not just moving, however. Even more remarkably, the phenomenon seems to be in the process of splitting in two, with researchers in 20 see This is a process of splitting into two, with researchers in 2020 discovering that the SAA appeared to be dividing into two distinct cells, each representing a separate center of minimum magnetic intensity within the greater anomaly. Just what that means for the future of the SAA remains unknown, but in any case, there's evidence to suggest that the anomaly is not a new appearance. If so, that could signal that the South Atlantic anomaly is not a trigger or precursor to the entire planet's magnetic field, which is something that actually happens, not for hundreds of thousands of years at a time. Yeah, like I said, used to happen every 200 to 300,000 years. The last one was, I think, 780,000 years, if I remember correctly. Obviously, huge questions remain. So much going on with this vast magnetic oddity. It's good to know the world's most powerful space agency is watching it as closely as they are. Yeah, they may be the most powerful space agency, but they're not the most truthful. And we know that NASA constantly lies, um, misrepresents, and deflects the truth of what is going on in our planet. But let me go back to this photo or this image. Just yeah, look at all this water, right? All the command, and remember that this is the one side. If you flip the planet around, the other side is mainly water. So why wouldn't a dominant species occupy, or or more dominant species occupy the majority of the planet's region, right? I mean, we may think because we're on the surface, right, that makes us the superior species, but from my understanding, most inhabited planets, or most planets that are inhabited, the inhabitants live within the interior of the planet. Yeah, living on the exterior, or the outer crust of a planet is for the primitive species. Because then we're subjected to whatever cataclysms impact us. Like if we get hit by a meteor, we're going to get wiped out. Whereas the species that live in the interior of our planet aren't going to be affected, or at least as far as I can tell, they wouldn't be affected. And I've said this before. Um, some of the crafts that we see are being piloted by a race of ancient humans that have lived on the planet since before the Ice Age. So, when the Younger Dryas impact, or from the impact from the Younger Dryas meteors, wiped out the majority of life on the surface, the beings that live on the interior of the planet weren't impacted. And I think that the gods that our ancient ancestors talk about, when they talk about the people who taught them how to farm, who taught them other skills. I believe that these species, these advanced species that live on the inside of our planet, probably came up and taught the new species. Again, after the Younger Dryas impact, most life was wiped out on Earth. So the fact that we have so many different races on planet Earth, since the impact, right, which was, what, 10,000, yeah, 10,600 years ago or something like that, right? And after the impact, you have to give the planet a couple thousand years to recover, right? So let's say that's what, yeah, that's like 12,000 years ago. Or no, let's just go back to 10,000. Let's say 10,000 years ago. So from 10,000 years ago until now, look at all the variety of races that we have on our planet. And there's no way that you could have um, such distinct races, right? That are supposedly evolved from one another, right? This idea that Africans walked out of Africa, and then moved east and turned into Caucasians, turned into Asians, and turned into Latinos. No, that's complete nonsense. I think I think most of the melanated races were brought on this were specifically seeded on this planet. Again, which is why we have all these um, different races on all these little islands. All over the South Pacific, and then the people that sunburn, I believe, are races that arrived on planet Earth after after it had been already inhabited and seeded by melanated races. Again, which is why you have you have people who sunburn on this planet, because I don't think your ancestors came from this planet, which is why you sunburn. Because if you're actually developed or created for this planet, right? You right. Your creators would have given you melanin to protect your skin. But yeah, I think the idea that the Caucasian race came from Mars, because Mars is further from the sun. So if a race was developed on Mars, since it was farther from the sun, probably wasn't impacted by the UV light, so didn't need melanin. But something happened on Mars. Must have been some type of war. But again, yeah, there was some type of great cataclysm that happened on Mars, and I think the inhabitants of Mars left that planet and arrived on this planet, and just integrated with the species that were already here. But anyways, I'm starting to babble, and this video is getting a little long, so I'm going to call it. But that is going to be it for this video. If you appreciate the time and effort that I put into these videos, all I ask is that you give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I'll keep on putting these videos up. Anyways, that's going to be it. Take care until next time.